Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This is my top 10 stocks as we head into Thursday, November 30th. This will be a technical analysis breakdown. So if you're someone that uses charts within your trading, or maybe you're just interested in learning more about charts and how they can be used as a tool to help make good decisions as a trader, this would be a video for you. First off, a couple clarifications. Number one, the candlestick that you see right there will be moving around. That is because the market's still open for a small amount of time. But I like to do these videos when the market is still open because sometimes we can capture some really interesting late day price movement. And then second, I'll be using the 30-minute time frame, meaning each one of these candlesticks here represents 30 minutes worth of time. Stock number one, ticker symbol RDHL. I think this is now the third day in a row I've included this one on the watch list, but this thing continues putting those higher highs and higher lows. And from a trend building standpoint, that is what it's all about. So nothing new here to really report in terms of areas of support. You still have this trend line right here, but in all actuality, now that I think about it, I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of that level because from the overarching trend line standpoint, let's just use the moving average right there, which I realize is not a trend line, but I like to pretend these are trend lines. In fact, I like to call them trend lines for lazy people because if you don't feel like drawing a trend line, then that's fine. This quote unquote trend line will draw itself for you as it moves higher and higher as time goes on. So from an overarching standpoint, I would just watch that purple line there. And as long as the price stays above there, that does imply that the overall trend is still bullish. In terms of areas of resistance, I'm going to just go ahead and adjust this. And the question here becomes, what direction is this being adjusted? And I'm going to go ahead and adjust this up to this point where the price finally got rejected today at 328. And assuming you're bullish, whenever levels of resistance need to be adjusted in the upwards direction, that is definitely always a good sign. So all in all, not the most exciting day compared to the past couple with price explosions, but still a very healthy day with higher highs and higher lows. Next one, VVOS, absolutely crazy mover today. So this is one of these where if you like volatility, if you like bigger spreads, and all that is going to definitely be included here. So let's get some levels mapped out here from a technical standpoint. And the key level here going into Thursday, excuse me, I was so so focused on this, is going to be this area right here at the highs, which in fact, let me just throw in a line here to make it a little bit easier to see. There we go. Going to be the high right up there at about $49 as that key area to watch headed into, like I said, Thursday. And nothing fancy there. Just a question of where did the party finally stop today, and that was right at that level. So very little complicated logic. Again, just a question of where did the party finally stop. It stopped at, let's just call it the 49 mark. So therefore, that is where that level of resistance is coming from. Next level in terms of pullbacks in areas of support, a couple different choices here. I'd consider this level a little bit more aggressive at the $29 mark. If you want a little bit more of a conservative level, then you could look to try to play this former breakout area down here at the 1950 mark. I realize those seem kind of far apart. Why are you talking about something at $19 when the price right now, is up in the 40s? Well, that just shows how volatile today it actually was. When even down here is almost a $10 move to the downside. So not a whole big distance on the chart, but numerically speaking, that would be a $10 move. So like I said, I'll start with it. I'll end with it. If you like volatility, if you like bigger spreads, these ones can make you rich. They can send you to the poorhouse in a hurry too. So definitely make sure you have good risk management. Next one here, an old friend, GME, GameStop. For you longer time people, I'm sure you've heard of GameStop several years ago. And it's really come to life here the past couple of days. And volume is kicked back in. So you never know. Will GameStop repeat what it did previously? I'm not claiming that. I'm just saying that there'd be some good irony if that were the case. So first dynamic here is, yes, that the price has pulled back. You can't deny that. That late day today, there has been this pullback. So this is where things get a little tricky because it's all about perspective, meaning if you're some sort of day trader, flipper, scalper, and you bought right there and your plan was to buy and sell within, just a few minutes, well then, yeah, from that angle, things look pretty bad. But assuming you care about the big picture point of view, then yeah, you would have to acknowledge that there is a pullback happening right now. But you'd have to say, well, yeah, it is pulling back, fair enough. But what was happening before the pullback? And before the pullback, you had this big old move right there, which is now giving me the ability to draw a bull flag pattern. So from more of a bigger picture standpoint, this chart is still plenty bullish. In fact, you have this bull flag pattern. So if you like bull flag patterns, then definitely keep an eye on GameStop. Next one here, FTCH, just what a turnaround. Yesterday, this was on the watch list. Yesterday, I was talking about this bull pennant pattern, but at least to be fair, at least it was polite. It didn't act like it wanted to break out and then drop all the way down there. It just flat out gapped down this morning. So the pattern and all that I talked about in yesterday's video, no longer relevant. But there is a new dynamic here that I find pretty interesting, and that is right here in regards to that resistance trend line at that area right there. And, this stock was very popular yesterday and now it's kind of popular for all the wrong reasons today. And this is a pretty straightforward trend line to draw. And I say all that to say that when stocks that are a lot of people are watching, and then not only that, a lot of people are watching the same exact area, nothing guaranteed, but it can produce some very dynamic movements, even if you just want to call it a self-fulfilling prophecy. Meaning, if the price were to be able to curl around, come back up to that level, and then get a break up through it, once again, no guarantees, but is it plausible? Is it valid to think that that break in and of itself could create some upside buying pressure? That is certainly a valid scenario. So, I mean, it may just be a dead cat bounce that shoots up here and then comes back down. But from a trading standpoint, that's all you need. You don't need some sort of massive, huge turnaround. Sometimes you just need enough of a pop to, get in and get out from a profit standpoint. So, yes, relatively popular stock, severely beaten down today. Good, solid trend line. Do we get some sort of self-fulfilling prophecy over the next couple days? We'll see what happens. Next one here, AMC, and very, very nice day on this one. Things were looking pretty rough, but got the big gap up and now actually have a good solid pattern here. So again, same general idea of what I just talked about. AMC, popular stock. It's been a while. Both AMC and GameStop on the same watch list. It's been a long time since that's been the case. But anyways, because both of these, if you're maybe newer, AMC, GME, both have made massive moves a few years ago and became very popular. But anyways, so as far as what I just talked about, self-fulfilling prophecies and all that, we have once again what I would argue is a very straightforward trend line to draw into place right there. So you got to think a lot of people are watching it. A lot of people are watching the same trend line, which guarantees nothing. But if the price were to come up here and break up through it, I think it becomes relatively plausible to say that that break in and of itself could create additional buying pressure. So you'll want to keep an eye on that, assuming you like potential breakouts. And then as far as supports are concerned, definitely the key area of support at this point moving forward, going to be right there around that 690 mark. You don't want to see the price drop below 690, because if it were to drop down below there, well, now all of a sudden you have the problem where the price has gone right back to where it was. And you want to see progress moving forward. You don't want to see the prices going back to where it was. But good news is, as of right now, the price isn't anywhere close to 690. But nonetheless, that would still be a key area of support. But yeah, definitely keep an eye on that level of resistance, and we'll see if the price can get the break over the next couple days. Real quick, want to take a break and personally invite you to get signed up for this free live online class that I'm offering here very soon. So if you've been enjoying what you've seen and you want to learn more about this tool, how it can and should be used to build consistency and manage risk, then definitely get signed up for the free live class. If you're watching on YouTube, there's a link down in the description box, or if you're watching at my site, there's an area right there on the webpage that you can click to get signed up. So like I said, if you've been enjoying, then definitely get signed up for the free class. Next one here, ticker symbol CYTO, and a very, very beautiful pattern. So it's been a talking theme, and it is again. Think that whole idea of self-fulfilling prophecies, and the fact that you got to think that a lot of people have noticed that trend line right there. They've come down here and drawn a support close to something like that. And then let's just make this all the same color to hopefully make the pattern even easier to see. So we have our resistance, we have our support, we have the big upwards move here. And make it a little bit more visual for you golfers out there, throw the golf hole down here. This would be not quite a bull flag, but what is known as a bull pennant. And actually, as I speak, and that's why I like to do these when the markets are open, you can see the price is right now knocking on the door of the top of the pattern. Still has 5 minutes. Market closes here very shortly, but got about 5 minutes to try to break through it. If the price does break through it, then the question transitions from will it break out to, okay, it has broken out, but is this breakout the start? And there we go. Capture the breakout right there. That's why I like to do these when the markets are open. So we've got the breakout. It has broken out. So we now have a new question. Is this the start of something even bigger? Which is always a very exciting question to ask. So if you like penny stocks and you like penny stocks that are breaking out of patterns, definitely keep an eye on this one. Next one here, ticker symbol TSLA, Tesla. And overall started off very, very nice on the day. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of these levels. But definitely a big pullback. But this is once again, let me add in a little bit more context here. This is once again where it's all about perspective. So a hard chart to talk about, because I get it. If you're a flipper, day trader, scalper, and you bought right there, maybe you bought right there, maybe you bought right there on the dip, and your plan was to buy and sell within a few moments, well then yeah, the chart looks really, really bad for you, because there's no doubt about it. The price started off opening 30 minutes very strong, and then from there, basically formed a downwards channel the rest of the day. But you know what I'm going to say next. Well, yeah, but what about people that care about the bigger picture? Because people with the bigger picture are going to say, yes, Clay, today the price pulled back. But what was happening before today? And well, before today, there was this massive move upwards, which now is giving them the ability to draw that bull flag pattern. So is this a good or bad looking chart? That all depends on what your strategy going in was. But if you consider yourself somebody that like bull flags pattern, maybe you trade options, if Tesla stock's a little bit too expensive for you, here you go. Very nice bull flag pattern on a very popular stock. Next one, ticker symbol BGLC, and nice pattern here once again. I'm going to start to go through this a little quicker because you've already heard me say all this stuff. So there's our area of resistance. There's the support area. Get that changed to green. And then just because I can't help myself, let's make it all one color. So resistance, support, nice upwards move there. Golf hole down here. Got yourself another bull pennant pattern. So if you like penny stocks, you like bull pennant patterns, here you go. Keep an eye on BGLC. Next one here, WHLR. Did this one previously, and that's where these levels are coming from. But in all actuality, once again, another pattern. In fact, the pattern just gets moved up. So watch this. I'm just going to drag this trend line right up that, because I think that'll work almost perfectly worked out on this one. Let me adjust it here a little bit. So we have our level of resistance. Does this work? Not quite. Need to adjust it up a little bit more. There's our level of support. And then once again, we have another bull pennant pattern. So if you're a penny stock player, I mean, you got lots of bull pennants out there headed into tomorrow. But that was essentially what happened yesterday. We had the bull pennant there. Now we have ourselves another bull pennant. And if, the trend continues, maybe tomorrow that'll be another bull pennant somewhere up around there. But point here being is that from an overarching standpoint, this is behaving exactly how you want to see it. Maybe not necessarily exploding every single day, but higher highs, higher lows. And that's how those long-term uptrends are built. Next one, TQQQ, which is an ETF that measures the NASDAQ market. So if you believe the NASDAQ market is going to go up, this one will also go up. NASDAQ market did not go up today. In fact, it had a very rough day. Therefore, this one had a very, very rough day. And a good example of why you want to be using stop losses, because yes, the day started off opening 30 minutes, oh so strong. But then check out that next 30 minutes. Nasty move down. Had another nasty move, a 30-minute session right there. And then late day just kind of kept bleeding. But once again, we go back to what was your game plan going in? If you were some sort of day trader, flipper, scalper, and you were buying that breakout of that area of resistance that I talked about yesterday, and you were looking for a big move, then yeah, hopefully you had a stop loss, because if you didn't, you're definitely quite a bit underwater right now. So yes, it temporarily broke that level, broke down from an intraday standpoint, but from a big picture standpoint, you can see here very clearly the trend is still in the upwards direction. I mean, in all actuality, we're just basically starting to enter into a glorified multi-day sideways channel. But this sideways channel is happening higher than this sideways channel here. And when you have those, consolidation areas getting higher and higher, as I've said already a couple of times, that's what it's all about from a trending standpoint. So yes, overall, the chart is perfectly fine. But once again, to reiterate, I understand I can sound like a crazy person if you're a scalper and you bought right there, and now I'm sitting here saying that the chart's perfectly fine. Again, I put the condition that that's from a big picture standpoint. So moving forward, though, 43.75 does seem to be within striking distance. So that's very important. I mean, you want to see the price stay above there, because if it doesn't, then that would imply that this bigger, sideways channel that I just talked about has now been violated to the downside. And assuming you're bullish, that's not what you want to see. So 43.75, definitely a very important level moving into tomorrow. If the price does try to turn itself around, then nothing new here to report. Still all about that 45.60 mark up there, which ultimately did act as resistance today. So that wraps up the top 10 list. Again, if you like what you saw here and you want to learn more about the tool, then definitely get signed up for the class. It'll be, depending on when you watch this, either tomorrow, or if you're watching this on Thursday morning, it'll be later today, but Thursday, November 30th at 7 p.m. Eastern time. So I hope to see you there. As far as these videos are concerned, if you enjoy these, please do a couple things for me. Hit that like button, leave a comment below, say hi, tell me your watch list for tomorrow, tell me what you traded today, or if you have any questions, by all means, leave those down below. So thanks for watching. Go get signed up for that free class. Have a good one.